Hey, witches!
Hello and welcome back.
What was that?
I don't know, my voice kind of cracked. I have a cold. After Hurricane Ian came through, it got really cold here, and so then like my fall allergies just went fuck you.
Oh my
And here
gosh.
we are.
Oh my
Um
goodness. So, this is the Hocus Pocus episode.
woo. So Hocus Pocus came out and Hocus Pocus 2 came out and we watched it and we're here to tell you what we think about it.
Yes. Um,
And spoiler alert, if no one's watched Hocus Pocus 2, you can watch it as we're talking about it, or you could watch it and come back. But like, there's going to be spoilers if you
oh,
watch.
for sure.
So
Spoiler
if you
alert.
listen, so I really just like not even like 2 minutes into the entire movie when we see a tiny little mini Winifred Sanderson walking through, pushing everybody. She walks past an older lady, and the older lady is like, "Oh, that's enough for today."
Yes! I was cracking up.
I was like, man, even back in the like early centuries of America, they were like, yeah, I get it.
Oh my
I don't want
gosh.
to go outside.
I was nervous when I saw the kids. I was like, ooh, I don't know how this is gonna be. But Little Winnie was hilarious.
I know.
I
They
was
actually
dying.
did it really well, like spot on.
Yeah, like I feel like they had to have like really studied the first movie and like worked with the actresses because a lot of her like facial expressions and shit were like Bette Midler. Like it was
Yeah, oh yeah.
perfect.
And I wonder if like they hired her because she could embody like the voice and the acting and all of that, and then worked with Bette Midler to be like, this is what Winnie would do. This is how she would talk, like act during this
Yeah.
time. Like you have to bring your hand up like this or something, like
Yeah. It was
like a
it was so good.
coach of some sort. Yeah, it was great. Um, they're just so spot on, those sisters. I mean, I don't know how the process was, if they like searched for like the perfect people, or if they just like worked with them or what. But it was great. Whatever happened,
Yeah.
it was perfect. Like that's what you need to do when it goes from like a book to like a movie. Like you need to work with, like they need to read the fucking books or something like that. Like they need to
Right.
look at past selves to embody the character.
Yeah. I
Um,
also thought that it was like going back to Salem and showing the Puritans and the witch trials. It was like funny, like humorous because they were so over the top and ridiculous, but also
yeah,
like that's really how it was. Like the
and
whole
yeah, it
spider
really
thing.
is.
Like
Yeah, I lost it with the spider because it was just so ridiculous. But they would have been like the devils here, like
yeah.
the fucking seriously, like it's a fucking spider. It's a thing.
Yeah, the only thing that was not realistic about that scene was that John Pritchett was about the same age as Winnie. Because in reality, he would have been much, much older in those times.
Yeah.
And she
Um.
probably would have been younger, honestly. Because
Yeah, she probably would have
she
been
was
like 13.
16. Yeah, she probably
Yeah.
would have been younger.
So in this world, when you hit 16, you a witch will get her powers, and so that's essentially how Winnie got her powers. Um. Uh. But basically, because she refused to, marry John Pritchett, she was going to have her sister taken away. And I really liked this part
Yeah.
because it kind of showed a little weakness on Winnie, cuz like Winnie is always just like hating on her sisters for being dumb or for whatever reason. But she truly does care about them no matter how infuriating they are. And I really
Yes.
like how they started it off like this and they essentially ended the movie like that.
Uh
Like
huh.
it was a nice circle.
Well, and I liked
But
that we were able to see that, like, they were just kids. They were just
yeah,
normal kids and trying to make
they
it
lost their
work.
dad.
Right. They lost both their parents. They were now alone and just trying to make life work as three sisters. And then they tried to separate them. And, like, that's what happens. I feel like a lot
Yeah.
of villains' origin stories are
Start
something
off that
like
way.
that.
Yeah. Um,
Also, just like a random like jump back. Um, I went into this movie with very low expectations because I had
same.
read, well, because I love Hocus Pocus original and because I've read the sequel to the book. Like I've read Hocus
Oh yeah.
Pocus the sequel book, and the book was so good. Lots of LGBTQ representation. Like all of the original characters are in there, including Max and Danny. So I was, oh, even Emily and Thackeray Binks were
Oh
um,
really?
in the book as ghosts, but or spirits,
They
but
were
they were
there.
in the book. And this was a totally different story. Like it didn't even attempt to follow the book, which I thought was great. And I think that I read somewhere that the reason they did that was because Max and Allison and Danny did not want to come back. So instead of recasting them, um, they just went with a whole different story. Plus, Disney, and one of the main characters would have been trans. Um, and I don't know that Disney was quite ready for that. Although if they were going to do it, this would have been the movie to do it. I don't know. People probably would have been even more pissed. Who knows?
Yeah, it's they're probably trying to walk a fine line there.
Yeah. So I was actually really glad that they didn't try to follow the book, even though they
Oh,
published the book. Like the book says Disney real big on it.
yeah.
But
Um, I just, I just think that all of this started essentially because of religion. Now we
mhm,
can dive down deep into it and be like, was it really religion? I mean, maybe not, but like, you're forcing women into doing something that they don't want to do because they have a voice and they want to use it,
oh my
but going,
gosh.
but like, using their voice goes against what God wants, and it's like you're using religion to
Control.
undermine, like, yeah, and it's like this Winifred, I honestly think they would have been good people. I mean, I think they would have been like,
Eccentric.
you know,
Yeah, like
yeah, well, maybe not that. I'm thinking maybe like chaotic neutral, like that, maybe not
yeah,
evil, maybe not good, like in the middle, likes to fuck things up. But I don't think they would have been as evil as
evil.
they were depicted because of religion. Like if they were just like, here you go, you're orphans, go do your own stuff, like most people probably would have done, then they would have been like, whatever, fuck it. And I only think that they were interested in like witchcraft is because their dad owned an apothecary.
Right. Well, and then because when they ran into the forbidden wood or whatever, they ran into the lady. But
Oh
I
yeah.
also like never really thought about it till I watched the second movie. But like Sarah and Mary don't have powers.
I know. I like, you just think that they have it because it's like, and I made a comment about this because I was like, Mary can smell children. So like that's her power. Sarah can lure children to them. That's her power. And Winnie's just gets like the little finger blasters. Like, but then I
Yeah.
didn't realize, like, holy shit, they were powerless. They
Right.
what?
They couldn't really do anything. Um, and I thought that was cool. I also going back to that whole controlling women thing. I feel like they alluded to that too in when they got to the modern time and totally forget what her name was. The main
Becca.
girl, Becca, was like when you turn because what's his face was like
Oh,
you turn
Gilbert.
6 when yeah Gilbert was like you get when witches turn 16 they get their powers and she's like that's probably some patriarchal need to or fear of women's whatever and I was just like
Growing up.
ha 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 ha, ha.
Yeah.
Like yes
And I was like, yes, stab it harder. um when the witch here's something too. When the witches went into, so when the Sanderson sisters like escaped due to the chaos that the spider caused, they escaped into the woods, and they always go into this woods because I don't know, they just feel at home there, whatever the case may be. Um they literally ran into this woman, and the woman was like sniffing them, and that made me uncomfortable.
Yeah.
She's just like the power. It's like what the
Like,
fuck?
what are you doing? Yes.
Ma'am, you are sniffing a 16-year-old woman out of hell. How old are you?
It's like
Like,
579. Like,
right. Well, and I was questioning this too because it's like we never actually they never mention the Sanderson sisters' mom. They
well,
never
I think
do.
that they say at some point that she had died, or maybe they don't. I just assumed.
I don't know. I just assumed they died. But I know they were talking about like your father's gone, blah blah blah. But they
Yeah.
never mentioned anything about the mom. And I'm surprised I mean, if they mentioned the father's gone, they would have been like, your parents are both gone. Like,
Right.
so I wonder if like I'm going out on a limb here, and I wonder if the mother witch, the one from the woods, is actually their mother.
Well, I know that like when he calls her mother, she's like, "When
Yeah,
mother gave book to me," or something like that.
yeah. I mean, she's Mother Witch. That's her character name. But
Yeah, but right, but like,
she like recognizes them in a way that's like, yes, you could
yeah,
smell the power on her, but like, usually witches will gift their kids something important, and she
yeah,
gifted her a book.
it's true.
Stays in the family. I don't know. That's just my thing. Oh, and on that, I thought from the original movie they talked about how the devil gave her the book. Like she sold her soul to the devil to get the book.
I think that might have been part of the like legend that they told, like at the school or something, or that Binks, Thackeray Binks told or something. But like
I don't
that
know.
could have
I
been
thought
like the legend.
maybe I'll have to rewatch it and find out. Um, Will's gone this weekend. He's going to visit parents, so maybe I'll just have like a movie marathon of myself. It's
I
I
just
can't. I
watched
should.
the movie not too long ago, but I don't remember.
Yeah. Um. I just got really confused because I thought like when they were going into the the guy who they thought was Satan, and his wife, like Medusa, I think is how, because they talked about snakes in her hair. I thought they were talking about like the book, like how do I get the book back? How do I get the book back? Because like that was part of the reason why they went inside. Because
Yeah.
she's like, "Oh, master, like I lost the book. How about where's the book?" Unless there's something in the book somewhere that says that like contact the devil. I don't know, at this phone number.
Oh my gosh, I
Call
don't know.
customer support. I don't know, but yeah. Anyways, that confused me. Anyways,
No, you're good.
onwards.
Izzy is my
Modern day
favorite.
times.
Yes.
She is the best.
Izzy
She's like the
is
comedic relief.
amazing. Yes.
If
I
I
like,
if
yeah.
I ever wanted to be a sidekick, it'd be her.
Oh my God. She's cracking me up.
She had the best one-liners.
Yes, she did. Um,
Also, can we just talk about how modernized witchcraft is nowadays, like in this story,
oh my
and
God.
their mascot's the Puritan?
Their mascot was weird since I saw that. And then I actually wrote something down about that too. And I was like, I wonder if the makers of this movie have ever been in a real magic shop. Because like their magic shop is so gimmicky and like
Mhm.
cheesy. And I was like, that's not.
And I wonder if it's because it's Salem. Like, I'm sure if we went to Salem, we'd actually find, girl, you get a cold? We
I
are
hope not.
700 miles away.
Ugh,
um, well, and I wonder too if it's like maybe that's like based off of a magic shop or something like that in
that could
Salem,
be.
because
Because
Salem is such a
there would be
huge,
gimmicky things there.
yeah. Will's like, I want to go to Salem one day. Like we were watching the movie, and I was like, you want to go to Salem? And he goes, fuck yeah, I want to go to Salem. Let's go to
Yeah,
Salem. Can we go during a time that's not like Halloween? And I was like, that's the best time.
right.
That that's when we gotta go. And he goes, yeah, but all the crowds. And I was like, but Halloween, Halloween. He's like, all right, fine, we'll talk about it. So we'll consider it. But
oh my
yeah.
gosh.
Anyways,
Love that.
did you notice that the location of the cottage has changed within
Okay.
29 years?
Yeah, yeah.
Because like before it was in like a wood by itself.
Yeah.
Now
Yes.
it's like surrounded by buildings. Like Salem magically grow in 29 years?
I mean, it very well could have though,
Yeah, I mean, I guess things have changed in 30
or they
years.
could have even moved the cottage because I feel like where
Oh,
like the
yeah.
forbidden wood is still there because that's where they do their ritual, their birthday ritual.
Was that where the cottage was originally?
I guess I just assumed so because that's where they like lived
Lived?
and grew
Well,
there.
yeah, and then in the original movie when they lured Emily out, they she
Yeah,
went into the woods. So,
yeah.
okay, that makes sense. And it was the cottage area, so okay. Yeah.
But it's also possible that they just like picked up the like for historical purposes picked up the cottage and moved it into town. Like
Yeah. Yeah,
I
I don't know.
also like I didn't write this down, but I'm just thinking about it. Like what kind of family was Gilbert raised in that he was able to just buy the Sanderson sisters' house and turn it into a magic shop? Like I, I feel like you need a lot of capital to get that started. And
True.
who is Gilbert? Like,
What has he done in his life?
well, we already know some of the stuff he's done. Like,
That's true. Um uh yeah, because he decided he was gonna make a candle, the black flame candle, and he conned. I don't want to say con because
no,
he
that's the
loves.
right word.
Yeah, I
Tricked,
think
I guess.
it wasn't done maliciously.
No, because he didn't believe that they were actually evil.
Yeah, because he was like those are his icons. Those are his idols. He loves them. That's why
Yeah.
he bought the thing. And yeah, so he wanted to meet them basically. So he tricked the girls into doing their ritual with this candle and brought them back for the greatest number ever.
Oh my god. They started singing. Oh,
The
wait.
witches are back.
Yeah, they started singing, and I was like, oh no, they didn't make it a musical. I was like, no, 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 no,
But hold on.
no.
The best part about this though, okay, so you know how Mary her like one like lip goes one way in the other movie? It's different in this movie because
Yes!
in that musical number Winifred smacks Sarah or no, Mary and it knocks her like lip thing to the other side.
Oh my god, I didn't notice that, but I did notice that it was on the other side.
Yeah.
Like,
So in an interview, Kathy Najimy, I think is how you pronounce her last name. She said that it was just really, really hard after not doing it for so many years to put it on that one side, and it was easier for her to do it on the other side. But they had to make it work, so that's what they did. They were just like smack her.
I love that. Oh my
Yeah,
god.
so it was great. I was like, because I read that. So the second time through when I was watching it, I was like, I don't. They said they had to make it work, but where did they make it work? And then Will's like, "Oh my god, Sarah just got smacked, and now her lips on the other side." And I was like, "There it is." It was great.
I love that. Oh my gosh. Right before that, though, before they bring them back, when they're still at the magic shop and Becca and Izzy just left, out of nowhere, Gilbert's like, hey, you don't taunt the devil book. And I fucking died. Like, I was dying. I couldn't even. Like,
Gilbert's the next best person. It's Izzy and then Gilbert for like
yeah.
sidekicks.
Oh my god. And then they go, okay, so they bring the witches back and they convince them that they're actually witches and they're actually like 40 years old and that you can buy
Oh yeah,
potions at the store now with the
because
souls already mixed in. So they take them to Walgreens.
and watching them go through the doorways of an automatic door is
Oh my
hilarious.
god.
She's just like, whoa.
Yes, I was cracking up at that too. Like she was like, she must be very powerful. And Winnie was like, I'm powerful too. And she just like
And then
went
she
on
just
her.
like slides in and then she's like terrified. I love it though because it's like we got to see it in 93 when tech wasn't huge, but now we get to
Yeah.
see it in 2022 where tech is everything. So now they get to
Yes.
see it all and it's just great cuz now they got cell phones, they got all this kind of stuff. So
Yeah.
I think it's hilarious.
And then the
It was
Alexa,
great.
she's like, there's a small woman trapped inside that box.
It's great. When I so I have an Alexa, and when they were saying Alexa, my Alexa was like, "Did you need something?" And I was like, "Shut the fuck up! You're ruining the movie.
Oh my
I only
gosh.
need you when I need a timer, or I need to know what time it is, or the weather, or if my package has arrived. Shut the fuck up."
My Alexa is not hooked up yet, so she did not do that. But
Fee, a girl from South Carolina that I work with, she loves Alexa. She came over for the first time. She goes, "Oh, is your Alexa set up?" And I was like, yeah, why?" And she goes, "Oh, can I call her?" And I was like, "Yeah." I was like, "Where are you going with this?" She goes, "Alexa, play Parati of the Caraboons theme song, please." And then it did. And I was like,
oh my
"That's a
gosh.
great TikTok. I love that TikTok. Great times." Anyways, gotta love it. Oh, and Roombas. Roombas.
Oh my god, and the Swiffer with the bubbles, the Swiffer wet jet and the Roombas, her little broomies.
My little broomies, come to mama.
Oh my gosh.
I was like, if we had a Roomba, it'd be called Broomy. And actually, Fee sent me a TikTok, and she's like, "Hey, you can have your own Broomy." And it was literally just like you could buy like a mop at a dollar store and like a remote controlled car at like a Five and Below. You could spray paint it, make it all up as if you like have like a mop on top of the car, and it moves around. Like it's kind of like the uh uh sorcerer's hat from Mickey when he like conducts all the brooms.
Yeah,
He goes,
we went to
she's like,
Cracker Barrel the other day, and like, don't judge me, don't come for me. We like Cracker Barrel, okay? Um, and
I
in
like
the
Cracker
gift
Barrel.
shop part, they had a broom that was like it moved around by itself. It was like a Halloween decoration, and I
Let me
was
guess,
cracking up.
$120.
I don't even remember how much it was, because they called our name like right after that. But
Oh.
I was like, yes.
I haven't gone to Cracker Barrel in a long, long time.
We
It was my
hadn't
mom's
either.
favorite place to go, and it was a great place.
We hadn't gone for a while either. But the other day, we wanted breakfast, and I don't remember why, but we were not going to IHOP.
Excuse me, sorry.
So you're
Oh
but
God,
yeah.
sorry.
But I was just dying, and like
Oh, it's
freaking
30 bucks.
queens. Oh really? I didn't even realize
Nice.
that.
Anyway, sorry.
Segue. Um, but yeah, I freaking love Sarah Jessica Parker. I don't know why. I just freaking love her and just about everything that she plays in. But
You know,
especially this.
I have one complaint about about her character this time. What was up with her fucking eyebrows?
Well, that I don't know. I
They
feel
look like
like
they were drawn on by markers.
I can't help you with that.
I'm just saying.
I
I
just
liked her any other time except for her eyebrows. Her eyebrows just pissed me off, and that's not anything to do with her.
oh my gosh.
That's costuming.
I love her, and I love like her, like, I don't know. I feel like they all jumped right back into these characters
Oh
al-
yeah. It
almost
was like
perfectly.
29 years have never like happened.
Yeah. Right. It was just
It's like
like,
they lived this character for years, and it was like home. It was great.
yeah. Um,
Then we see another character come back.
Trask. Is that who you're talking about?
Oh, no,
Wait, what are you talking about?
I was talking
Oh,
about Billy
Billy.
Butcherson. Billy.
Billy.
Well, Billy was never like he never went back to sleep. He's been alive for
He's
29
just been
years in
awake,
a
laying under the
shallow grave.
ground for 29 years.
And he sounded like Johnny Depp. If I did not know that the same person who played him back in the original movie played him again this time around, I would have honestly assumed it was Johnny Depp's comeback because it
Did
sounded so much
Disney
like him.
bring Johnny Depp back? Like, or did I thought that they cut all ties, or
They
he cut
cut
all
all
ties with
ties.
them?
I think he cut all ties, but I think there's like talk of him coming back for
Okay.
like a movie, and like they're willing to pay a hefty amount of money to bring him back. But I just thought it just sounded just like him. It sounded like Jack Sparrow in a way.
Yeah, I could see that.
So I
The
was
accent.
like, the fuck?
Yeah, and like
Cobweb.
Billy is, oh, Cobweb.
Cobweb was so cute. Anyways, Billy.
Um, Billy was like helping Gilbert because he thought Gilbert was um trying to kill Winifred. When in reality, Winifred had set a spell on Gilbert that if he didn't gather all these ingredients and meet them in the wood, he would die. And then Billy finds that out.
Winifred tricked you.
Yes. And then Gilbert just steals his head, just pulls his head right off and runs
I'm
away,
sorry.
which is rude. I
I
mean,
love it though when he goes to shake his hand and it just like pops off and he's like, ugh. And
nope.
Billy's just
Oh
like,
my
oh,
gosh.
sorry about that.
Totally skipped that because I forgot all about it until right now. But when they're in the woods, Becca and Izzy, and the ground starts to split, and she's like, "Nope," I fucking died because same girl. I would have been like,
Like, get
"Nope," I'd have
the
been the
fuck
fuck
out
out
of
of
here.
there. Oh my
I
god.
really liked the effect that they did during that scene. I know we're backtracking, but I really like the effects when they're hiding and it's just like a strobe light and you don't know
Yeah,
anything. And it was like, that's actually pretty cool. Like,
yeah.
that's,
And then like you
I
could
mean,
see like their
trigger warning.
silhouettes, like
Yeah. And it's like, oh, the witches are back. And then all of a
right.
sudden, Bette Midler just turns around and goes, the witches are back. And I'm like, yay.
And then they start singing, and I was so
I
concerned.
love it.
I was
Anyways,
very concerned.
um, I
Uh,
think Cobweb is magic.
I could see that, but I kind of feel like all cats are a little bit magic.
True.
They're definitely smarter
They're
than people give them credit for,
fuck
and
yeah.
more
My
intuitive.
my cat's trained me to do stupid shit, and it's like, God damn it. I know exactly what you're playing at.
Yeah, like um, our other cat that we used to have, Karma, would literally like herd us to bed at night, like
Yeah, Lily
at
does
a
that.
yeah, at about like 9:30, maybe even a little earlier. She'll just come sit there and like stare at you until you go to bed, and then she'll yell at you like, "Come on, mom, let's go to bed." Yeah,
Yeah, Lily does that. If I'm like out in the living room. So like Will's trying to do like different new healthy habits. And one of them is not watching TV in the bedroom because then he's like most likely gonna fall asleep.
yeah,
So he
no,
sits
that's really
out in the
fair.
living room. We have two couches now, so like we can use the space. So he'll be out there like watching TV or something. And if it's getting late and we haven't gone to bed yet, Lily will come out there and sit there and judge.
Yes.
And I'll be like, are you okay? And she'll just look at me and she'll just make a little meep sound. And I'll be like, is it time for bed? And then she just goes off. She starts talking nonstop. And then she's like walking around, meowing back and forth. And I'm like, I think it's time for bed. And she's like, yep, let's go, let's go. And
Yeah,
then I
come
see
on,
her like
let's.
trotting down the row or down the hallway. And then if I stand up, she just keeps walking. And then if I turn around and go right back and sit down, she's just like, excuse me, bitch.
Yes. I fucking love it. Oh my
And I'm
god.
like, oh, okay, well, yep, it's time. And Lily knows that if she eats my hair,
Ugh.
I get pissed off and I will get up to see what she wants. So and she's learned that because she's fucking taught me to do this. So she and my hair and I sleep I just sleep. I just there's no rhyme or reason to it. So I cover my head, but then my hair always seems to poke out or she finds it, she'll like nestle into my blanket and find it. And then I'm like, all right, fine, I'm up. Like, what do you want? And then I realize she needs food or she needs water. And I'm just like, you could have just gone to sleep and like been fine for a couple more hours. You had to wake me up at 3 fucking AM for this. Like, damn it. You had a full bowl last night. Like, what the fuck? So yeah, they're smarter. So I mean, I like how they thought or how they made Cobweb appear as if he was like Thackeray Binks.
Yeah.
Anyway,
Yes.
hey, maybe Thackeray Binks got around.
Could be though. I mean, it would have cat
Yeah,
instincts, right? And was alive for like 500 years or some shit.
right. Anyways, he ate mice. He admitted to it.
Yeah.
Mice are
He,
roadkill.
oh my
Anyways,
gosh.
um,
So then they think that the descendant of the Reverend Trask is now the mayor of the town and the friend's dad or whatever. And this poor guy just wants a candy apple. That's all he wants from life. It's just a candy apple from this, I forget what the place was called, but
Something's cauldron apples or something like that.
yeah,
Candy's cauldron apples.
he just wants a candy apple. That's all he wants.
It's so sad too because it's like so Trask is the father of one of the so it's a trio of girls,
Was it
Cassie.
Emma, right? Oh, Cassie.
Cassie. So Cassie, Izzy, and Becca were all friends and all that. Well, Cassie started dating a popular guy in their grade or whatever. So Cassie, for like the last 3 months, has been spending more time with her boyfriend and not time with their friends. And so like there's like a rift.
Tension.
Yeah, and the dad doesn't realize that at all.
He's kind of
So he's
oblivious.
just yeah, and he's just like, "Oh, I miss you guys. You guys got to go do your little witchy ritual stuff." Like really excited. I love it that his ancestor was a reverend for Puritans and like against anything devilcraft, and he's just like fucking Halloween, fucking witches. Let's do it.
Yes.
I love
Yes.
this, and it's great. But I expected the boyfriend because the boyfriend was kind of stupid and aloof and like
Yeah.
he didn't make fun of them, but he did make fun of them in like a weird way. I expected him to be the descendant of Trask. I don't know why.
Oh,
But then
yeah.
when I saw the mayor pop up and I was like, "Oh,
That's the same guy.
yeah." So, I was
Yeah.
like, "Okay, never mind." Cuz I thought maybe he was going to like lose his fucking mind and that's why he's like trying I thought he was trying to get Cassie away from the other two so that he wouldn't be or she wouldn't be into witchcraft anymore and Puritan style kind of thing, you know. I don't know. Anyways,
Yeah. No,
well,
I
it's
could see
stupid.
that. But he was just an idiot. The village
Yeah,
idiot, actually, is what they call him. Wendy calls him village idiot.
we just need the village idiot to take us right to him.
Yes. But so the poor guy, like, there's like a flash
He just
mob
wants food.
because Winnie and them spelled the townsfolk to lead them to Trask, and for some reason they're dancing on the way there because the song.
Can we hold on? Can we just take a moment and talk about how they lost a lookalike contest?
Yes.
That's how like right before they got started into this song, they walked up on stage because that's where they were figured he was going to be, and they walked into a Sanderson sister lookalike contest. There was drag queens there, famous drag queens actually. Like
Yeah, the one
she
group. Yeah.
recognized them, and I was like, I don't know who they are. And she goes, oh my god, it's these people. And then they were just like, sir, you are a great looking Winifred or something like that. And she's like, sir. And then Mary goes up to some dude with a beard and goes, we are one hot foxy mamas or
Yes, I
something
was
like that.
cracking up.
And then they lost. And
Yeah,
then
to like the little sexy Sanderson sisters group or
yeah.
whatever.
And then they got pissed off and they're like, no, we won. And then that's when they started singing one way or another.
Yes. And then the
Did anyone catch the
townsfolk.
Easter egg?
Oh,
Did you catch the Easter egg in that part?
no.
So, two things actually. When they're flying and they're looking in windows, which is fucking weird, but when they're looking in windows, Winifred goes past a couple like watching TV.
Oh,
It's
I
a
did
scene
see
from the
that.
original Hocus Pocus, yeah.
That I
And
saw.
then in the next scene, a little bit later, when Trask is like looking at where the line is so that he could get his candy apple, the two people sitting there was dressed as the devil in the snake head from the original movie.
I did notice that now that you say that. I just forgot about it.
I just sat there. I
Yes.
was like, "Yo, that's fucking bomb." Anyways,
Yes. Yes. Yeah, and then the poor guy never did get his apple because he got an apple and then the flash mob showed up and then somehow somebody stole his apple. So he never did get an apple.
I just don't understand how does somebody steal their apple when they're like
You
under
know?
a spell.
I don't know, but somehow his apple got stolen and the poor guy just wanted a fucking apple. That's all he wanted from the whole night. He waited in
you
the damn
know,
line twice.
for
Which, as the
probably good
mayor, I feel like
hours.
he probably didn't need to wait in the line. Like, he probably could have been like, ah, whatever candy your name is, I invited you here. let me have an apple. Like he
Right.
probably did not need to wait in that line, but he's such a nice guy that
And he's like trying to talk it up. He's just like, "Did you have you ever had these before? These are the best. They're on Good Morning America. Like, have you ever had this?
yes. Oh my gosh, cracking up.
Great times." Um, Trask though calls the Sanderson sisters the Gothic Golden Girls,
Yes, the Golden Girls are in my garage. Yes.
and the kids are like, "What?" And I'm like, "Can you just imagine?"
I actually really love that comparison.
Right? It's good times.
Yes.
Um. Anyways.
And then I
Um.
like how, even though they're not actually sisters, like the whole power is meant to be shared thing.
Oh
Um,
yeah.
like Izzy and I don't know why I want to keep calling her Emma, but Cassie. Um,
She looks like an Emma.
yeah, I think she looks like Emma Roberts.
Oh yeah,
Like I
I can
know
see
it's
that.
not, but she looks like her, and I think that's why I keep wanting to call her Emma. But anyway, Cassie and Izzy like help her hold the shield or something like that when Winifred is trying to attack them. And they're like, power is meant to be shared. So even though they don't have power, like they share her power.
Yeah.
And then she throws pine
I
cones at Winifred's head.
I love it too because like during all these scenes, they instead of saying bitch, they say like you witch, and
yeah.
it's like they use it in a derogatory manner because it's Disney and they don't say bitch.
Yeah. Yes. Oh my gosh. And then so we're like rapidly getting towards the end of the movie, at least in my notes.
Same.
um but then I when they first were like she didn't read the warning and then they're like talking about the warning and how you have to give up what you hold most dear or whatever. I was like, is it her power or is it her sisters?
I know. I was sitting there. I was like, it's got to be the sisters because of like how everything was in the beginning.
Yeah.
But oh, you know what? I was about to say something that I literally just. Oh no, 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 no. Never mind. No, it wasn't. Okay. So I was gonna say, what if Becca was related to the Sanderson sisters through like some bloodline by like Mother Witch? Like, if what
Okay.
if Mother Witch was their mom?
So in the book, there is a fourth Sanderson sister, and she
Not saying it's Becca, but
doesn't turn evil. She's good, and the main character of the book is her descendant.
oh, so maybe they like tried to make that kind of an
Yeah, and like they
idea
don't
for the
talk
movie.
about it in the movie, but that's how it is. Like the main character, which her name might even be Becca. I don't remember, but um, like she's descended from the fourth Sanderson sister who wasn't evil. Um, but yeah,
Well, I just say that because the fact that Book went to her
right.
and Book wasn't gifted at all. And I mean, I know Book like has like a mind of its own at times, but I highly doubt it would literally give up centuries of being with Winifred.
Yeah, but she also said that in the beginning, the mother witch or whatever said, the magic has to find a way of bringing things together that need to, or that ought to be together or something like that.
Um.
But then in a very
Yeah.
Marvel fashion.
I was gonna say Sanderson sisters are disappearing because of Marvel, not because of anything else, but
Yeah,
because of
that
Thanos.
Thanos.
The Thanos snap disappeared the sisters.
Yes. And then um so they like disappear or whatever. And I feel like it's kind of like poetic cuz we don't know where they've been this whole time like when they've been gone. But
Uh
like I
huh.
feel like the assumption is that they're in hell, right? Like because they're or are they in like some kind of weird limbo? I don't know.
Yeah.
But like they're finally going on somewhere. So like they're not going to come back. They're not just like waiting, they're going on. And then like Bette Midler had me in my feels.
I know. I was like, that's fucking sad. And that's why I love the full circle thing, because she's just like so upset. She loves my sisters. I love
Like
them. Like they're
my power is
infuriating,
nothing
but
without my sisters.
I don't give a shit. And it's like,
Right.
you've always strived to be the most powerful witch ever, all because of religion, because of people trying to undermine you and make
And trying to
you,
protect her sisters.
yeah, and trying to do something that you're not. And if you don't have anybody to protect, why do you need powers? And she finally realized that.
Yeah. And
And
then
I just love that. I thought that was so cute.
yes. And then she begs Becca to like bring them back. She's like, bring them back. You can only you can do it. Whatever, whatever. And Becca does the reuniting spell or whatever it's called. I think it was reuniting spell. But instead of bringing them back, it sends Winnie to them.
And then
Which,
Book cries, and I was like, poor Book.
yeah, yeah. Book had a lot more
See?
animation in this one. Like he was sweating earlier in the movie, and
Yeah,
now
well,
he's
and
crying.
that's why I thought like he wouldn't have gone to Becca
Right.
willingly.
Except he really, really didn't want to do that spell, and when it
True,
was forcing him, and he knew what was going to happen because he kept trying to get her to read the warning, but she wouldn't do it.
true. Poor Book. Oh,
Yeah. And then
but
Billy is
I was
like,
gonna say Billy got to go. He got to go
yeah,
live.
rest in peace.
He got Thanos too,
Yes. Ugh.
and it's
Um,
so cute. Like, oh,
yes. And just to go back, because I didn't ever mention Brittany's opinion, um, she said that she loved it, but she went in with low expectations, knowing it was going to be different from the first, um, and expecting it to not be as good as, or not to be like the first, because,
I really like that it's a sequel and not like a remake of the original.
yes. Yeah.
I swear to God, if they ever make a remake of the original, I better be dead. I better be in my fucking grave. I don't want to see it. I don't want to hear about it. Nothing.
Yeah,
But
because,
yeah, no. Um, this makes me wonder though if there's going to be a Hocus Pocus 3, because the very ending scene, you see the three of them with Book walking, and then all of a sudden they turn into the Sanderson sisters and like
yeah, they
start
start
walking.
going,
They're like,
ugh, ugh,
"How do we
ugh.
do this? Like, why is this a thing?" And they were like, "Oh, that's because they did it." But it's like, but you didn't do it because they did it. Like, you just went into it. And then you
Right.
see Mother Witch fly
Yeah,
in her crow
the
form.
bird.
And so it's like, ooh, is there going to be Hocus Pocus 3?
I could see them doing that, but I feel like it won't have. Well, I mean, obviously, it can't have the Sanderson sisters in it because
It could. Because what if they got brought back to help? Like, what if they got brought back and they were innocent now? Like, what if they, like, learned the error
they
of
were
their
good
ways
now.
and they
I
helped?
feel like those ladies are old and they're not going to do another one. Like, I feel like they did this one to like put those characters to rest. I don't
Yeah.
think they're doing another one. I mean,
Yeah,
they might do another Hocus
Like,
Pocus, but I don't think they'll be in it.
Bette Midler is, like, 65.
Well, and Kathy and Jimmy didn't look good in this one. Like, she
No,
looked kind of unhealthy. But I think
I
it's because
think
she
it's
lost so much
just,
weight.
yeah, I was gonna say, I think it's just because we're so used to seeing her bigger, and then because she lost so much weight. Because, like, she looks healthy, but, like, she looks like Adele, like when Adele lost all her weight.
Yeah.
It was different, and not saying it was bad, it just looked different. And I think it's
Yeah.
just because of the amount of weight she lost. Um, did you watch the very, very last secret scene? There was one scene at the very end.
Like at the end of the credits.
Yeah,
See, I let the credits play all the way through, but I didn't see a credit scene.
it was like 4 or 5 minutes in.
No, I didn't.
Do you want me to tell you?
That's fine.
Basically, um, it goes back into Gilbert's, like um, the cottage basically, and it shows Cobweb, uh, kind of climbing up against some bookshelves, and then he goes to a box, and it says BF candle number 3, or like number 2 or something like that. So and he was sitting right next to it, and he was like rubbing up against it. So there's another black flame candle, which makes me this is what makes
Oh,
me think there's going to be a Hocus Pocus 3,
got you. Well, could be.
because it's like, well, why would you show that? Like,
Right,
Gilbert already said he made one. Like, we knew he made one. Like, of course
right.
there's probably going to be a second one, but like, is there a reason behind it why you showed it to us? But yeah,
Oh,
that's the last scene.
interesting. Interesting.
Yeah, I read that there was a final scene in it, and I was like, "Ooh, I'm gonna watch it."
So I wondered, and like I watched. Well, I was doing laundry while I watched it the second time, and I let the credits play all the way through. But I must have missed that, like it, because there was no talking. So I must have been like in the closet or
Oh,
something
yeah,
and
there
ignored
was
that
no
part.
talking. Yeah, it was
Oh,
just the cat moving around. Um, the fourth Sanderson sister is Elizabeth.
yes,
I looked
yes,
it
and
up.
she was
That's
good.
Yeah, she was the innocent fourth one. So maybe Becca's a descendant of her. I don't know.
Yeah, could be.
Overall,
Okay,
I liked it. I
I
really
did
enjoyed
too.
it.
I went in
I
with
thought
really
it
low
was cute,
expectations, and I expected to not like it because I was worried. It, the movie is never as good as the book, so I was
but
worried.
it wasn't even the book.
Yeah, they totally didn't even try to do the book, so I was totally fine with it. It was good,
Yeah,
and I like what they did.
yeah, it's good times.
So,
But
all right.
until next time,
Bye,
bye.
witches.